It's a brisket cook-off between the Green Mountain Grill Pellet Cooker and the Kamado Lump Charcoal Cooker. That's this time on I got 2 pieces of meat from Costco, both choice, and both right at 10.5 pounds. I'm going to cook one in the pellet cooker and the other on the Kamado, and we'll see finally for once and for all which makes a better brisket. Both pieces of meat are going to be injected with just good old everyday beef stock, and be rubbed with John Henry's East Texas hickory rub. And he's not going to get any. Well, a quick reminder what the difference between the Kamado and the Green Mountain Grill is. Kamado is an actual charcoal burning it's like an inch thick steel with ceramic insulation. Uses lump charcoal, which is not to confuse with regular old everyday charcoal like that. This is a different, more expensive stuff. You actually get to use real hickory pieces of wood. And if you haven't tried the Weber fire starters yet, they're amazing. Go out and buy one now. The Green Mountain Grill is what's called a pellet burner. These are the pellets. These are much bigger than I'm used to them being, but they've got the Green Mountain Grill logo on them, so I guess they're made to go through this machine. These pellets fall into a trough that's augured into the bottom of this, and there's a hot stick in there that catches them on fire. Once it catches them on fire, there's a fan that blows air around them, and then from then on, that hot stick doesn't work. It just keeps dropping wood, augering wood into the pellets into the pot, and keeps it burning. So even though it is electric because it's got a brain, it actually is heated by burning wood. I'm actually an attempt to try to make it fair. I'm using this gadget I got. It's called an A-MAZE-N tube. You fill it with the same pellets, and you light it, and they burn. They're connected. They're pushed in so close together. They burn slowly and put out more smoke. Because the knock against a pellet smoker is that they put out a very mild smoke. And of course, for turkey and chicken and such, that's good, but for brisket and pork bellies and stuff like that, it's not so good. So that's what I'm trying to see today. I'm going to actually be burning this, getting more smoke in there, trying to be fair. Well, it's a good thing this isn't Mythbusters, because I would get shot down in a heartbeat, because it's not going to really be apples to apples. The Kamado cooker is very notoriously picky about heat. It loves to go up, loves to go down. Doesn't stay in one spot. I've tried to do it at 225 before and failed miserably. It was around 275 to 300 most of the time. So what I found on my last brisket was at 325 it did a wonderful brisket. So I'm going to try to do that. I'm going to do that again at 325 on the Kamado. The Green Mountain Grill, on the other hand, the hotter it is, the less smoke flavor it puts out. That's why the little thing I'm doing back there. I'm not going to have this one at 325. I'm actually going to do it at an hour at 185, because that way it puts out more smoke for an hour, and then kick it up to the regular 225 and cook it that way. So they're not cooking at the same temperature, but each one is doing what it's best at. That's what they suggest in the book, to do it at an hour for 185 to get more smoke flavor into it at the beginning, and then you kick it up to a regular. I might even kick it up to 325 after that original hour. I don't know, but they're not going to be cooking at 325 each for the same amount of time, yada yada yada. But they are going to be doing what's best for them. That one cooks really good at 325, makes a really good brisket. This one smokes better at 185 and then kick it back up to get the temperature going. So we'll see what happens. It's not a real fair comparison, but I'm trying to make it more fair. This little gadget is what you start this with. It's just a little butane torch. You get the end burning for a little bit, and once they start burning, they tend to ignite each other and burn for 4 to 6 hours. So I'll be using this to start that. Hey, there it is, generating the smoke. I'll shut her up and get the real thing going here, and then get that one going. There's the little starter cube burning away. It's almost impossible to put that thing out. So it's going now, and I'll put the rest on, the rest of this stuff on, and get this one getting ready to get close to temp. You'd think with all the smoke it's putting out right now, it would be good a smoker, but that's only when it's around 112, 113 degrees, which is lower than it'll actually stay at. Well, the first brisket's gone on the Green Mountain Grill. It's about 2:30. It's probably going to take about 6 to 8 hours to cook, so it'll be dark when it's done. Well, the Kamado's getting very close, 302. 325 is my target temperature, so it's getting close as well. Well, the brisket's been on about 3.5 hours now. Let's see what it looks like. Looking pretty good. It's at 150 degrees internal. Now 153. This one is hovering between 300 and 325. It's at 304 right now, and the internal temperature is 154. So they're right there together. Let it cool. So there's what that one looks like at the 150 degree. Even though they've both been cooking at two entirely different temperatures, they're both hitting 165 at about the same time. The brisket on the Green Mountain Grill is now at 164, 165. The brisket that's at 325 on the Char-Griller Kamado is at 162. So pretty darn close. At 165, you take them out and you put them in aluminum foil, wrap them up and cook them the rest of the way. That way they stay moist and nice. So I'll be foiling them very soon. Well, that old adage, you get what you pay for, seems to be ringing true. This is the brisket that I did on the pellet grill. You can see there's a decent little smoke ring right along there. Very moist. It's very, very good actually. I've yet to cut into the other brisket that came off the Kamado, but this one is much tastier than any one I've ever done on there. So I'm guessing that that old adage, you get what you pay for, does still stand true today. Interestingly enough, the Kamado grill, the smoke ring isn't as pronounced, and the meat's a little drier. Even though I had a pan in there with water, because I was cooking it at a hotter temperature than the others. It still tastes good, but it's just not as moist. So I guess that means I shouldn't cook it as hot. But all in all, I actually think I like the pellet grill taste and feel better than this stuff. So I guess in the cook-off, the pellet grill won. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's right, the Green Mountain Grill won. I'm surprised. Are you? Well, that's it for this edition of The Gadget Gardener. He's gonna get in trouble. He knows he is.